Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. This is going to be a good one. Okay, Coco knows we're talking, so it's time to turn around and get in her position. Yeah, assume the position there, Coco. So, love Fridays because it's usually quiet around the office, so I can throw in a romper, some yoga pants, and just go in. And usually aren't a lot of agents in there because they're getting ready to work a lot for the weekend. So it's a nice quiet day to catch up on some things, so that's always fun. Finally thought of a good way to explain how these temporary veneers feel. Have you ever used whitening strips? You know, those kind of things you put on, leave on for about half an hour. Picture putting those on and leaving them on for a week. I feel like I'm eating and sleeping and talking and whitening strips, so that's why I feel like I'm talking funny. Good news is, as of Thursday, I will have my final full mouth restoration finished, and I will not be talking weird anymore and should have a great smile. So, looking forward to that. But I did want to share with you some things that have been on my mind this last week at church. We've been talking about parables for the last couple of weeks, and there's a favorite parable that's been reminded to me again at work this week. I love this one just because it's so practical. If you're raising children, if you have a job, if you live in this world, this parable is just super practical to you. It is the parable of the workers in the vineyard. And anyone that works with me, knows me at all, would be able to tell you I'm very laid back and easygoing, easy to get along with, not high maintenance, not a micromanager. But there's one pet peeve probably that I have that'll get me hot quicker than anything, and it is violating the essence of this parable. And this is something you've never seen happen before in the drive, but this parable deserves far better than my weak paraphrasing of it. It's a few verses, and every one of you got 30 seconds to give to the Lord to listen to these few little verses here. So this is Matthew 20, verse 1. For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire men to work in his vineyard. He agreed to pay them a denarius for the day and sent them into his vineyard. About the third hour he went out and saw others standing in the marketplace doing nothing. He told them, "You also go and work in my vineyard, and I will pay you whatever is right." So they went. He went out again about the 6th hour and the 9th hour, did the same thing. About the 11th hour, he went out and found still others standing around. He asked them, "Why have you been standing here all day doing nothing?" "Because no one has hired us," they answered him. He said to them, "You also go and work in my vineyard." When evening came, the 12th hour, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, "Call the workers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last ones hired and going on to the first." The workers who were hired about the 11th hour, that's where we get that expression, I'm sure, "Oh, you're coming in at the 11th hour." The workers who were hired around the 11th hour came in and each received a denarius. So when those who came were hired first, they expected to receive more. But each one of them also received a denarius. When they received it, they began to grumble against the landowner. "These men who were hired last worked only 1 hour," they said, "and you have made them equal to us, who have borne the burden of the work and the heat of the day." But he answered one of them, "Friend, I am not being unfair to you. Didn't you agree to work for a denarius? Take your pay and go. I want to give the man who was hired last the same as I gave you. Don't I have the right to do what I want with my own money? Or are you envious because I am generous? So the last will be first, and the first will be last." Absolute favorite because it has so many applications. Clearly, the direct biblical meaning of this parable was talking more to, to the Jews and the Gentiles. Because the Jews were feeling like, so these Gentiles come in at the end after all these years of us being the chosen people, and they're going to get the same reward? Are you kidding me, God? This is what they're asking. And God's like, "Is it not mine to give? How dare you be generous? Where were you when I created the earth?" as he asked Job. Same thing in life with children. I used to tell my kids growing up, if you want to make sure you get nothing, you compare what you're getting to what your sister's getting. The minute I hear, "But you did this for her," well, then you just getting nothing. Because I cannot stand the underlying attitude of, I don't want to see something good happen for somebody else. That is so wrong, people. It is so wrong on so many levels. And it's so wrong because it makes you unhappy. It's not good for you. It's not good for anyone. So I know it can be hard. It's human. But we've got to get beyond that. Listen to the words of the parable. Be happy for others. Work for what you are promised. If you are a child, you are promised love, affection, a roof over your head, and food in your belly to the best your parents can provide it. You do not deserve anything additional. And I promise you, as parents will give more to the child who is happy for their sibling, who isn't bitter and going, but she got this, so I get this. He got that, so I deserve it. That's a good way with me to get absolutely nothing. We find it with employees as well, co-workers. It's a human nature to want to say, well, why did this good thing happen for her? My first thought is, are you kidding me? Are you really, really going to be upset that somebody who maybe really needed a boost that day got a boost? Are you really going to be on that level? Are you not being paid what you agreed to work for? That doesn't mean we can't always be more generous with everyone. But what we can do is we can make sure that when something good happens to anyone around us, that we're grateful and we are not bitter and not jealous. I see so many people in the work atmosphere. You know, we all have competitors, right, in our jobs, no matter what we do, not only inside, but especially outside. And I see so many people putting so much time into worrying about what I'm doing and wanting to bring that down, instead of, I think so many times, if they put 10% of that energy into improving themselves and their business and what they're doing for their customers, their clients, they would be so far down the road instead of worrying about holding someone else down. The only one you can control is yourself. The only one who can make you happy is you. And the more you spend time looking around and comparing, that is just the biggest waste of time you just invested in your day. What you need to do is get up, wake up, look around and go, if I have feet to walk, hands to put to the labor, I am most blessed. I have enough health to get out of bed today. This is amazing. The sun is shining. I live, most of you, in the United States of America. And if not, you live in a free country. What are we griping about? Really, we're going to go to the level of looking at sideways? Better not do something nice for that person, or I'm going to be really negative and really be down on you. That is not what any of us want to hear, and it's not getting you anywhere in life. So I love you. Sorry for the tough news today and the tough lesson, but I think we all need to be reminded of it sometime. And Coco needs to make sure that she is not being jealous of Frankie. You know, she's really been working on this because she's been casting him some side eye, but I think it's getting better. I actually saw him lick his toes yesterday and his little tail when I was holding him up above her, and she seemed pretty cool with it. So everybody go out, have a blessed day, have an amazing day. Go bless someone else. Don't look at yourself. Look at who you can help. It'll change your whole attitude on life. Love y'all. Talk to you soon.